Hey, welcome. This is the award-winning car talk show in Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zekin just off camera there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. It's a bit nippy this Saturday here in the Houston area. So we've got the heater going here in the In Wheel Time Studio A. So glad that you could join us today. We got lots to do, lots of things coming up, and one of the things that we failed to get in our last segment, and that was the racing calendar. Now, no racing this weekend, but there is stuff coming up.
Yeah, there's stuff coming up before the end of January. There's a lot of testing going on right now, but the next real big test is going to be on the 24th, and that's called the Roar Before the 24. And that is where the IMSA guys go out and they do a lot of testing at Daytona before the 24 hours of Daytona, which will be on the 31st of January. So racing's kind of just around the corner, but all of those who are in the racing world are doing a lot of testing right now. You saw that Erica was given the NHRA Driver of the Decade award.
Saw that
this week.
I missed that.
Yep.
Oh, congratulations to her.
So I thought that was pretty cool. You look at, all that she's accomplished and the team has accomplished, and the support that they provide for so many other teams was very well deserved.
And, and none of that comes easy because it doesn't. I mean, she was racing Chrysler products for a while.
Correct.
And the engines just, even though they were Hemis, they just couldn't rev high enough to get the power down the track quick enough.
They did it for 1 year. She was running the Camaro, and then they switched to the Dodge product, and then came back to the Camaro.
Oh, yeah. So none of that is easy. And to, be a champion in your division is something. But she worked really hard to get the Driver of the Decade award in NHRA.
Multiple champion.
And three-time champion in the decade. So we say Erica, those who don't know, Erica Enders. Greg Enders is a fan of the show. I think, Erica, we want you to be a fan of the show. We actually want you to come on the show at some point, but we'll work on that in the future. Yeah,
we work on that every time, but it never seems to pan out. But you have to understand, she is always very busy, and when it comes to her racing career, she stays busy, and it's not that she is dissing us, because I know never do that.
Well, it's a full-time job to run the operation. She's got to worry about driving. She's got to worry about promoting. She's got to sell the car, sell her. I mean, she's got a lot of stuff to do.
She actually took time out to take a picture with my granddaughter at the last event. Yep. So thank you for that.
Yep. Yeah, she's a great gal. I wanted to remind everybody, and I will continue throughout the show, the first Sunday of every month, which this month is tomorrow, is Chrome and Coffee. And it is a great cruise in, and tomorrow's weather should be spectacular for it. It runs 9 to noon tomorrow at the Sharpstown Golf Center. It's on Bel Air Boulevard off of Harbortown Drive, and at the Prince's Drive-In there. It's actually not a drive-in. It's the Prince's Hamburger Joint there at the golf course. So you park your car, walk around, talk to everybody that has a car there, or if you just want to spectate, you park your car across the street, walk over, and come on, bring the kids, and it's a family affair.
That's what I do. Yep.
Yeah. And you're going to be there.
I'm planning on being there, yeah.
And what are you bringing?
I'm going to bring the 2021. Is it a 20 or 21, Mike? He doesn't know. It's a
21. It's a 21.
Is it a 21?
Yeah.
It's a Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye.
Ooh,
wide body.
Wow.
Wide body. 797 horsepower. It's
797 horsepower. Well, I understand that when Mars had it, that they only gave him the black key.
Yeah.
So they only gave him the 500 horsepower key. They must listen to the reviews, because they gave you the red key.
That's because of his shenanigans with these high horsepower.
Shenanigans.
I Now I'm really disappointed because I was showing the car. My grandson wanted to see the car. He's 16 now.
And you were trying to do a burnout to impress?
I was showing him the car and I was going to show him how the performance pages worked. And I brought him up and stuff, and it's showing the 500 horsepower. But I couldn't get. I said, I told him, I said, well, they just don't send it out anymore because the 797.
Not to you.
Well, I didn't tell him that. I said they don't send it out to anybody.
What's his phone number? Let me call him right now and just tell him, Grandpa didn't make the cut.
Is it shenanigans or is he full of malarkey?
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
With his shillelagh.
Yes.
That's why his eyes are brown. He's only full up to there.
That's it. So do we have a guest yet?
No, sir. We got a little problem here.
Okay, well, we'll just move on then. So I have some other things that I thought that we would. I kind of felt that this may happen. So,
well, go ahead.
So Hemmings, of which I am a member of Hemmings Motor News, questioned this. Which one of these 4 detective cars would you choose for your dream garage?
All
detective car, TV detective cars.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm thinking Magnum Pi.
Well, let me just read. Are you itchy this morning?
I am. I don't know what it is. Oh no, the one
it's probably
Miami Vice. I want the white.
It's probably coming off of the heater
That's
and
right.
dropping.
I want the white Testarossa.
Columbo.
Miami Vice.
So let me just
Columbo.
let me just read this in. Hey, hold on.
All right.
Crime dramas have been part of small screen history since the smaller screen became a fixture in post-war living rooms across America. Whether it was based on adventures in the pre-automotive Wild West, namely the Wild Wild West, or set in a fictional contemporary town, ABC, CBS, and NBC were broadcasting what was sure to be their top cop his series. Some were humorous. Most were serious. Car 54, Where Are You?
I was thinking that.
Hawaii 5-0, Adam 12, Dragnet, some of the early successes everyone fondly remembers. The 70s and early 80s delivered a whole new series of multi-season hits, which is the setting for the latest edition of This or That, which this particular story falls under, highlighting cars from both sides of the Atlantic that had a starring role.
Where the cars were actually more a character in the show as well.
Part of a character, yeah. Let's take a closer look at them and a few honorable mentions, all of which are currently available in the Hemmings Classified. First up, Columbo, which originally aired on NBC from 71 to 78, albeit less regularly from 89 to 2003. 2 pilot episodes aired 68 and 71. Peter Falk was the title role guy, LAPD homicide detective Columbo. Didn't follow the typical whodunit format, but rather a how catch them storyline through the series. As to the character Lieutenant Columbo, well, crumpled raincoat, less than commanding posture, smoldering cigar. Another often seen Columbo prop was the car, a dilapidated Peugeot 403 Cabriolet that was one failed oil change away from the scrapyard. Peugeot's 403 entered production in 1955 and continued through 66, unfortunately. The featured 403 sedan was made in 1960. Apparently, Columbo didn't have a keen view on what was cool to drive. Okay, so
he made the list. Must have been cool.
I guess.
But would not be one of my choices, for sure.
The Rockford Files.
There you go.
The 1978 Firebird Esprit.
That's right.
It was the Esprit, although updated each model year through 78. No 79 or 80 edition was used. The gold-painted, four-wheeled TV Star was actually a more powerful and easily disguised formula, which enabled Garner to perform the show's most iconic vehicular stunt, the J-turn, on the streets of America. It was simply known as the Rockford, and you could buy them. Tuner car that was featured in this article, just over 14,000 original miles on it. It was nice looking,
And I'd take that one. I don't know much about the powertrain of that. I would assume it wasn't a huge power player.
No, it was not.
But Rockford also had on the show was an Oldsmobile Tornado.
I know that you would love that.
Yes, I would.
Magnum Pi. Debuted in the late 70s.
308 GTS.
It was a 1979 model 308 GTS Targa. Yeah. 79 edition was replaced with an 81 version for the 2nd through 6th seasons, an 84 308 GTSI Quattro Valvole.
So
it sounds kind of
the
nasty.
difference was the first one was carbureted. When they add the I, that stood for injection, and Quattro Valvole was 4 valves per cylinder.
If you remember, I reviewed a Ferrari.
I do remember that. Yeah. That was good.
So I'd put his in my garage.
Here's one. I really didn't like the paint scheme on it, but I did like the car, even though it was a Ford. You want to guess what it was?
Not without knowing which detective it was.
Starsky and Hutch.
yeah.
Torino.
Grand Torino.
75 to 79. Well, Detective Sergeant Dave Starsky, portrayed by Paul Michael Glazer, and Detective Sergeant Ken Hutchinson, portrayed by David Soul. Although visually iconic, it's ironic that the producer placed their plainclothes officers in what since has become known as the striped tomato. Bright red, 1975 Ford Grand Torino Coupe, similar to the one featured in the 76 Ford Grand Torino Coupe.
Yep. Very iconic car.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want it in my garage.
No.
Here's one you might. Honorable mentions. Miami Vice.
Yeah, sign me up.
84 to 89. First featured a 72 Ferrari Daytona Spider 365 GTS4 until its demise.
Which was not a real Ferrari Daytona. It was a custom built clone, right?
After which was an 86 Ferrari Testarossa.
Which was a real Testarossa.
Least we forget the digital age really kicked in during the early 80s too, and no other show took on a futuristic approach to detective work like the original Knight Rider, 82 to 86, and its heavily modified third-gen 82 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Well, we need to back up because there was a CUDA in Miami Vice also.
No.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a CUDA. He
I
drove
don't
a
think
yellow
so.
CUDA.
No, that was whenever he was in San Francisco. That was a different show.
I don't know.
Miami Vice was in Miami.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other one was in California.
I retract
That's
that.
right.
I retract that. Yes, you are correct. But he had a CUDA. There was a
Yes,
CUDA
he did.
involved.
The
The other
yellow
one
CUDA.
is I would take
Never
is
mind.
the 69 Camaro convertible in that show Las Vegas.
I never watched that show.
Oh, they had a beautiful 69 Camaro convertible, yellow, white stripes.
Not into convertibles.
Okay, moving on.
Well, that's it.
Oh,
So check
Well,
out.
apparently we are moving on.
You can check out Peugeots, Pontiac Firebirds, Ferrari 308s, and Ford Torinos for sale at Hemmings.com.
earlier, what about Route 66 with the Corvette? But that was more of a...
How about
pseudo-
77 Sunset Strip?
There you go.
What was that, a 58?
58, yeah.
Yeah. I actually owned a 58 for a very short period of time, thank goodness. Boy, their first-gen Corvettes, oof, just
But were those
horrible.
detective shows?
Well, Sunset Strip was.
Route 66, I think they were just
We have our
supporters.
guest.
Okay. All right. So what are we? We're kind of late to get to this.
Yeah, we're late.
It's okay, we're good.
You say we're good. Here, would you like to do this?
That's why you're the host.
Yeah, no, that's why I try to keep us on time.
He's the host with the most.
So we got about 5 minutes to talk to Dana Prithcard, and he is with the...
She is.
She is with the Woodlands Car Club. Dana, hi, good morning. It's good to see you.
Can everybody hear me and see me?
We can.
Okay.
Looking fabulous up there in the Woodlands.
Yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. It's going to be the same for tomorrow morning. As you know, I've been with the Woodlands Car Club since 2001. One of our main charity car events that we do is the Woodlands Cars and Coffee for a Cause at Market Street here in the Woodlands. So we're having that event tomorrow morning from 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
It'll be a little chilly.
It'll
but
be a little chilly.
It's always worth it because you guys always have a good cause, and your cause moves around each month as well.
You know why people get up so early in the morning? Because the parking is limited at Market Street. So people were getting there at 4:30 and 5 in the morning, and finally Market Street said, we're not letting anybody in before 6:30. So they can come at 6 to line up, but we start letting them in at 6:30 because the parking space is limited there.
What kind of cars show up?
So we get anything from import, domestic, classics, hot rods, European cars. We get some exotics, work in progress vehicles. We don't really discriminate against what type of car that we let in, and that's just because it's a charity event. So we raise a lot of money by every person who enters their car into the charity car display will donate any amount that they would like to, and that all goes to the charity selected by Market Street. Market Street selects 4 new nonprofit organizations in Montgomery County a year. So so that's first quarter would be this, January, February, March. So we raise a lot of money for, each quarter for each charity.
Are you entering a car?
I'm sorry?
Are you entering a car?
I enter myself.
You enter, got it. Yeah, so you got your hands full trying to coordinate this.
Yes, and I do get a lot of help, not only from my boyfriend Philip, but from Randy and Robert from the Montgomery County Auto Enthusiasts. I work very closely with them. They're a big help. And also sometimes the Northside Mustang Car Club, they've helped us in the past also.
We know Randy very well,
Yep.
Good friend of the show. Yeah, absolutely. So are you expecting Mustangs there tomorrow?
Well, we'll probably get a few Mustangs.
Oh, you'll probably get a whole ton of them.
But you said that parking is limited. How many spaces are there available to show your car?
All I know is that between the 4-hour time frame, we see well over 150 different vehicles because people come and go throughout the morning. So the people who get there about 6:30, they're wrapping up probably around 9-ish, and then we'll get a new batch of vehicles that come in. So the people who didn't get up that early sleep in a little bit and come later in the morning. That's when some spaces begin to open. So.
And how late does the show go?
We usually wrap up around 10:30 just because, we're getting there at 5:45 to set up. And, usually by 10-ish people are, the people will get there pretty early. So by 10-ish, they're ready to go eat breakfast, which reminds me that there is a cafe there, Paris Creperie Cafe, which is in Market Street. Everyone who goes to eat breakfast there on the first Sunday of the month, they will donate 25% of the proceeds to the selected charity, which first quarter is the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So
Oh, nice.
we're happy that they decided to partner with us.
Yeah. Do you have things like Ferraris and Lamborghinis show up there too?
Oh, yeah.
We get a few of those that show up. Yes, we get a few of the exotics that show up. Not too many, but every now and then you'll see some sprinkled in, or we'll get a classic, Ferrari that'll come in. So.
Well, there's lots of them that live up in the Woodlands area, so I'm sure if they're up early and they want to go take the toy out for a ride, they'll pop in.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to have in their garages, that's for sure. But I will tell you that people come from all over the Houston, area, whether it's Sugar Land, Katy, Pearland, League City. I mean, some of these participants are, coming to Market Street for the very first time. They've heard of the Woodlands, but they've never been out here. So all month long, they're getting excited about the first Sunday of the month. And it's really nice to see not only the diversity in the vehicles, but just the ages of people, the generations that come out. And everyone's pretty friendly. Everyone gets to know each other, that, they talk to each other. It's not classed by, what kind of car you have. It's mixed up pretty good. And people really enjoy that. It's just
And everybody's expected to behave while you're there. There's car show etiquette, and we expect everybody to follow that. Don't show up revving your engines and doing smoke shows with your tires. They'll be there to throw you in jail quickly.
Well, luckily for this event, we haven't had to worry too much about that. But I'll tell you that there is a hotel adjacent from the Starbucks where we set up, and you get a vehicle rumbling pretty loud just by starting the vehicle, wakes up the honeymooners. So we have to be careful about that. But there's nothing we can do. That's just
Wakes up the honeymooners.
So Jackie Gleason's there?
Yeah, exactly.
We got a few complaints over the years about that, and I tell them we're not revving the engines, we're just starting the cars up.
So Dana, real quick, about your shop, just a quick shout out about your place. Mm-hmm. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Woodlands Performance and Suspension right on Sawdust Road. We've been around for 18 years. We specialize in suspension and alignments. We do mechanical restoration on the classic vehicles. We also specialize in high-end 4x4 suspension for the four-wheel drive trucks. Do a little bit of general repair also on vehicles, and just some sports cars, suspension, aftermarket exhaust, that type of thing. So.
Well, Dana, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good luck tomorrow morning for the
Wear a coat.
Yeah,
Cars and coffee for a cause.
That's it. And the charity fundraiser up there, and you can't miss it. It's Market Square in the Woodlands Shopping Center. All right.
Yeah,
well,
thank
Dana,
you guys so much for your interest. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. All right. Time now. By the way, I wanted to remind everybody that we'd love to hear from you. And all you got to do is shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. We're going to start a new series with Ryan Ainsley called Ryan's Excellent Car Adventures. And we were trying to get this on the air last weekend, had some sort of an issue. I don't know what that was, but we don't want to know. It just didn't happen. So we're going to play it this weekend. And unfortunately, it doesn't have any voiceover on it. So Conrad's going to play Guess What This Is.
Oh, God.
So why don't we go ahead and roll it? Because Ryan...
Bring this on me here.
So we're going to have to... Let's stop right there.
You can tell this is a more of a youth-oriented car meet because of the types of cars that are there and the modifications that are done. There's a C8 Corvette. I guess that's a Honda Civic.
I'm trying to stop it.
Honda Civic. I'll take the white C8 Corvette. Mazda Miata. Lowered the cambered tires, the super wide tires. I know Ryan had, we'd seen when we had David on, where he's got the edge roller for the fenders. Mm-hmm. Well, on these types of cars, you'll need that edge roller for the fenders because they've got the top of the tire right out to the edge of the fender. And a lot of times that's why they camber the tires, the wheels so much, is trying to get the upper part of the wheel inside the fender. But, the stripe kits that they put on them are quite unique, as well as the suspension. And generally, they're going with really large wheels. So you're talking 18s, 20s, 24s in some instances. Nissan 200SX, quite a popular car in this. The silver one there, I think that was a Honda 2000, which I think is a very cool little car as well. But the Nissan 200SX, some of them can be highly modified on the engine side of things. I don't know, what they've done with any of these here.
From what I've seen or heard in some of these videos that he shot, a lot of them have very large turbochargers on them. Which
would be consistent with that age bracket of what kind of cars that they modify. Again, this being the Nissan 200SX Skyline platform-looking thing. The 200SX are generally all the 4 cylinders. The Skylines, the Nissan Skylines, would be the 6 cylinders. So some Lexus and IS300 sitting there. The blue one. Go ahead and let it run, Jeff. There's the FR86 Toyota. You never liked those because you never liked the ride of them.
Terrible.
Some cool BMWs. And again, when you look at these, go ahead and just let it run, Jeff. You can look at the wheels and tires on them and tell that they're extremely large wheels and tires that are on these cars.
And they're dropped way down.
And they're lowered. And part of lowering it is why they end up having to do the camber on the tires so that they can get the fender to fall over the tire as opposed to into the tire. That looks like a ES300 Lexus. There's an Audi. I'm assuming that's might be an A8. I can't see the tag on it, but look at the size of the wheel.
And look at the special digital tail lights.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, the LED tail lights. So in the youth movement, they are very much, I'll say, fast and furious type of modifications, type of vehicles as well.
Very visual.
Lots of. There's a G35. I think that's just somebody's normal Honda parked out front because that didn't look very modified. 300Z. Look, C6 Corvette. BMWs, a good variety of stuff. Those don't look to be really part of the crowd because they're not overly modified. One of my favorite cars is the NSX.
It's hard for me to fit in that. It has
It's very
absolutely no
it's
headroom.
impossible for me to fit in them, but very, very cool car, the Honda NSX, with just their little 3-liter, and then I think they went to a 3.2-liter V6 that would perform at a level of a Corvette in the same generation. Here's a BMW 5 Series, actually with factory BMW wheels, but you can tell the car has been lowered quite a bit. And then the little rear wing and stuff on it. And I guess that was an
Look
M5.
at that thing.
That, I believe, is the new Supra.
That has been highly
modified. Look like it's got a fat tire modification on the back of it, and then another NSX. And NSX is a pretty rare breed car. You don't see lots of them.
No, you don't.
And here you go again with a purple. I'm assuming that's I missed. More of the Nissan SX200s. Very popular car in the younger generation, that wild gold BMW there. And another 300Z. Is that a 300Z or is that a 200SX?
Good luck.
I think that's a Z.
I think that's a Z car. So, they get a wide variety of cars, but the modifications are all somewhat similar. Big exhaust systems, real tall wheels, and wide tires, and the modified suspensions to compensate for it. So next time we hope to have Ryan talking over the top of it, because he can probably give us a little bit more insight into some of these cars than I can looking at it the first time and trying to give you my thoughts on what they are.
You did an excellent job.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Job.
So we're going to try again next week, and we're going to perfect this sooner or later. Remember, Ryan is a senior in high school and is very much into those kinds of cars. Actually has one himself.
He has a G35. Beautiful looking car.
Wonderful. It's pretty cool.
All right, time now for a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Show. We've got more right after this.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting.